All right, welcome to Honey WTF podcast.
Yeah, welcome. We here.
Yes, sir.
And we got a little show for you.
We sure do. We sure do. First off, welcome Americans, fellow Americans. I think it's important that we start identifying ourselves as fellow
Welcome, fellow Americans. I am an American.
I'm an American too.
And the American people watch our show.
Yes. American people watch our show.
We are accepted by the American people. The American people give us likes.
They do. And they
and
comment.
subscribe.
And they subscribe.
They
yes.
sure do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
welcome.
just so you know.
Right. So on today's show, we're going to be talking about Chuck Schumer's appearance on The View. This week it was on Tuesday. He said some interesting things. Then we're going to talk about the Department of Education cuts that's been signed into order today.
Kinda.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I think it was more symbolic than anything, and he's just trying to promises kept, but we'll see how far they go with that.
We shall see.
And what it does to the people in the red states.
Yeah. And then late in this evening, the New York Times broke that Elon Musk will be visiting the Pentagon.
Yeah.
And it seems as though initially the report was he was going to be talking about, he was going to get briefed or whatever on China. But now there's been a change. I think Trump posted something on Truth Social that he won't be finding out anything about China.
We don't know. We really can't depend on what the Washington Post puts out.
It's not the Washington Post.
What was it?
New York Times.
New York Times?
Yes, the New York Times is credible.
Yeah, well, they're credible, but I don't. It's hard to say with any of this because we've heard one thing from the New York Times, and then we hear another thing.
Yeah, we never know.
Why do we even have to know that this is going on? To me, it's more like throwing stuff out there to distract you and get your emotions up and start thinking about stuff, and people start discussing it and don't even really know what's going on. We just watched a whole half hour of it, and they started one place and then they ended with another, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, it's
a game.
The headline gets you emotionally invested and raises your blood pressure, and then when you after you actually listen to it, you realize you didn't hear anything at all.
Yes. Nothing at all, but a bunch of pundits going back and forth.
Yeah.
And they don't know either.
They do not know either.
Okay. So let's talk. We're going to have a show.
All right.
And we're going to talk about stuff that we really don't know because
we're not in those rooms, just like the rest.
Yes.
And the media is not going to tell us.
And what we read,
they don't know.
What we read on ChatGPT, because that's our only trusted source now.
The ChatGPT.
We'll let you know, and we'll give you a little bit of how I feel about it. I think that's the best part, is how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's all that matters.
And maybe at the end you'll figure out you don't need to feel anything. But we'll get there.
That's a possibility too. Yeah.
All right. So Chuck Schumer sat down with the ladies of The View, and he spoke about his decision to go with the Republicans' plan so that the government does not get shut down. Mm-hmm. And as we all know, he got 9 other Democrats to go along with him, and everyone was in an uproar and all of this and that. And, there were some performances by, folks who are leaders. It's just really sad. But anyway, what Schumer said, I agree, with him when he talks about himself as a leader in this moment and the choices that he had. He had 2 sucky choices.
Yeah.
And many times that is what life gives you, a couple of sucky choices. It's not like The Price is Right, where behind one door is a trip to the Bahamas and the other door is some 3-legged donkey that scratching itself or whatever. So
and that third leg be big sometimes too. So I'm just saying.
I don't know what that means.
But yeah.
I don't know what that means.
So Chuck Schumer, he's human. If you didn't realize, I mean, he's old as hell. I don't know, but he is pretty much human. Did he think about this and his emotions get the best of him when he came out and said, I'm not voting for it. We're going to shut the government down. Right. We got something else to do. If this going to shut down, it's on them. Did he not think it through?
Yeah. And that's what the ladies of The View should have asked him that. Why initially did you come out and say that and get us all ready for this fight? Because we were all ready for it. Stop everything. Stop it all.
Yeah. He's human, but as a professional, right. And as long as he's been doing this job, you would think he'd be a little more cunning than to come up and have a press conference saying I'm going to do one thing, but then the next day do something the opposite. It's bad optics.
I'm really ticked off now that you reminded me of this, because as I was watching The View, I had forgotten about that.
Yeah.
And I was like going along with it. I'm like, okay, I get it. But goddamn.
But I mean, why do you do that? Why do you if
you're a leader, you know, when you come before the public, when you say something with your whole chest, you better follow through.
And you get on national television in front of 20 million, 100 million, 200 million people. Right. And you say something. And then you turn around and it makes you look so weak and beaten. And the Democrats are watching that.
And they're like,
and we felt so.
I was deflated.
Yeah,
yes. Because I was ready, because they owned that. We realized, okay, it shuts down. The Republicans own that.
They let them own it.
But his excuse, and now I have to say it's a freaking excuse.
They won't turn. Yeah, it's an excuse.
Yes.
They won't open it back up. There'd be chaos. There'd be chaos. And they're not ready for the chaos yet, possibly. They still have some more stuff they got, but they're going to bring the chaos. This is my opinion part, in case you didn't know. There'd be chaos, and they're not ready for the chaos yet. Okay?
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
And I still think they should have went ahead and called their bluff and see what was going to happen. And it's possible that they would have came through and voted on the 30-day extension or whatever that they had to keep it open.
Possibly. But even then, wasn't he saying he wasn't going to vote for any half measures either?
Yeah, I know. So, well, then if they know that he's standing on business, and we're not gonna cow down to you, and it's on you, then they kind of have to change their trajectory, and try to. Then they need to come across the board and make it work.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, okay, if the government had shut down, would it have really, I mean, how many people would have attributed it to the Democrats?
Yeah, I know. Nobody.
I know. I can't see that.
Because I know we're all a lot smarter than what we
they want to give us credit
for. They're saying this stuff, and we all know it's not true, right?
Yeah,
we know it's not true. We see with our eyes what's going on, and we know what's real and what isn't, right?
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot of American people that understand what the hell is going on.
Right. And if we don't fully understand it, we have ChatGPT.
Yeah. But for us, for the people that feel safe enough to pull it up and ask you questions. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, I interact with people online all the time, and there's a whole lot of
Yeah, you
people out
do.
there that they agree with me on stuff,
Okay.
right? And so there
What does
people
that
are
mean
out
since
there.
they agree with you? Is that
Well, that
does
means
that speak to their political
that they're
acumen?
very smart and intelligent.
Just because
If they don't agree
you
with
sound
me,
like Donald Trump.
well, if you don't agree with me, you have to. It's a syndrome. It's a Raphael derangement syndrome you got, and it's a mental illness. If you don't agree with me, it is.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
You agree with me, and so I know that your mental state is fit. But if you didn't, then I'd have to. I don't know.
You're not gonna label me crazy.
Well,
All right.
yeah, I'll put you in a re-education camp real quick.
Oh my gosh. All right. So the other thing Schumer said was, and I'm trying to remember, was that one thing he was saying how, oh gosh, what was it?
He was talking about how Democrats are going to do moving forward.
Yeah.
How we have people that know how to work the internet
Yeah. We have people who know.
and the social media, which we really got killed on because the misinformation is our biggest enemy now.
I remember. I
And
remember.
all of that, yeah.
He said the one thing that they agree on is their focus on Trump.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah,
That was it. And
yeah.
I when I heard that, my ears just perked up because they're not going to win that.
No.
The man he's a personality.
Yes.
He has a cult following. No one on the Democratic Party in the Democratic Party has a cult following.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just trying to think strategically. How do you work around
How do you
that celebrity crap that he had?
What were I forget the exact words he said, but we're all focused on going against
on Trump.
on going against Trump or getting Trump. And the thing is, they've been focused on Trump since 2016.
Yes. And it has not
It has not worked out. So what are you going to focus on? It doesn't make any.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, you got to focus on policy and focus on what's going on, because focusing on Trump. And here's the thing: in 2008, they focused on Obama. They focused on Obama real. Oh, we're gonna make Obama the one-term president, and that's all our job is to do. You know, all that stuff. Boehner and all them guys. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of all. And they worked on it hard for 8 years.
It didn't work.
Or 7 years, but they couldn't get rid of Obama.
No.
So what makes them think they're gonna focus on Trump and because Trump's really not the focus. I mean, he's old. I don't know if they're going to be able to change the law to where he could run again, or even if that's what they're doing. But run is the key word, right? To where we could get somebody else in there to run if if we just focus on policy.
Yeah, we have to focus on policy. And they have to have a message that resonates with people around those policies.
Mm-hmm.
They really have to have a serious grassroots movement and bring all of the factions within the Democratic Party together.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And not pull any bull crap that the DNC leadership likes to pull.
Oh, that's because that's our biggest problem. I mean, that's why we're here.
That's why we're
basically
here. That is why we're here.
Yeah,
if you think about it historically, we talked about it earlier.
Yeah, sure did.
They're shenanigans.
And we know the shenanigans. We know that if Bernie was allowed to run, we wouldn't be dealing with none of this mess.
It would be a different thing. It would be a whole.
It would be a whole different world. It would be a different world.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would everything would be different.
Yeah, I don't know how.
We
wouldn't have this.
It wouldn't be. Yeah, we wouldn't have this. It would be different. We wouldn't have this to where we don't know. We wouldn't have this. Just let me put it that way.
Yeah.
You know. And then somebody's watching us right now, and they're like, "Hey, you guys are socialists, or whatever, buddy."
You know, this country is a mixture, and
it's
some people
mixture.
Just don't get it, and oh my God, I'm not gonna get into it because I don't understand. I just don't understand people. I try to hear people out, as you know.
You do.
I listen.
I try to cuss them out.
I listen.
And I'm more successful at cussing them out than she is at hearing them out, I think, because it's real easy. I just...
We both end up in the same place. I just have less stress.
Yeah. I'll leave all my stress in caps.
Okay.
And I am so glad, I'm going to get off the topic. I'm so glad Zuckerberg lightened up his restrictions on speech. Oh, because I can call people retards now.
We're not doing that.
Okay, just kidding.
I'm not gonna use that.
She says I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
No.
That's what she says.
No.
Yes.
It's not right.
Okay, but yeah, it isn't. I understand.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I like you.
I got to do better.
I like you.
Someday I will.
Someday.
Not today.
Well, this is a step forward.
The step forward, the first step is acknowledging it.
That's right. And see how he did that? It's really easy. It's so easy.
Whatever. Okay.
All right. So next up, Department of Education cuts.
Oh.
So we saw Mr. Trump in his little seat in his little office
with his little pen and his little kids. His little kids that go to private school sitting around him.
Yeah. Going, sticking to those
and they're like, all right, cut education. I'm glad they didn't say nothing, but what is that? I mean, that was almost as bad of having a stack of blank paper and saying, I got the files right here, right? You set up desks.
The good old days.
Why do we got to do the visual all the freaking time, right? Why do we have to have desks with children and make it look like they're studying and they're writing stuff? Why do we do this, man?
I don't know.
And they called Trump derangement syndrome a sickness.
Oh,
that was a mental illness right there.
Is there a bill or something?
They're trying to pass something that'll never work. But
look, I thought that mental health specialists, they have a whole book that they have.
Yeah, the DSR
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, big book of real
that's it.
illnesses. It doesn't have anything to do with the legislature. They don't pass those kinds of things. But I guess this is what our tax dollars at work, folks.
This is our tax dollars at work. This is what we're living in.
Oh my God. And I haven't heard word one about any of our taxes being reduced with all this waste and fraud. I'm still waiting.
No, they're not talking about reducing taxes. They're talking about giving us a $5,000 stimulus, but I hear that it might not be $5,000.
That's only if you're married.
It's only if you're a couple. Then this is like so crazy because you got these young people jacked up and they're walking around like, oh, we're gonna get 5,000 in Dogecoin, or whatever the hell you want to call it. It is just so bad, baby.
Yeah, it is. And now it's going to get worse because of the cuts for education.
Yeah, the education cuts.
He gleefully signed all of that into order.
He gleefully signed all of that into order.
Oh, right.
And then 20 minutes later, somebody probably said, "Oh, you probably shouldn't have done that because blah blah blah." And he goes, so he comes up 20 minutes later, and he says, "Oh, but the Pell Grants and the funding for disabled kids and all this stuff is not going to be affected."
Mm. Which
Which
is what
the Department of
the
Education
Department of
does,
Education
because
does.
they don't do they the Department of Education doesn't write the curriculum. The states do.
Yeah, it says while keeping, yeah, the AP reports Trump orders a plan to dismantle the education department while keeping some core functions. Oh my
So yeah,
goodness.
it's all
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm looking to see
it's all smoke and mirrors.
it. Yeah, core necessities. Trump said his administration will close the department beyond its core necessities, preserving its responsibilities for Title I funding for low income schools, Pell Grants, and money for children with disabilities.
So the Pell Grants and the disabilities will not be affected, but the low income school funding they'll probably cut it,
Hmm.
right? And so what will happen in these red states are going to suffer more than the other areas of the country because they already got it bad.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen is we're going to have to pay more state taxes
Right.
to
Well,
pick that up.
okay.
And
Well,
like you said that it's really only 10%.
that's what I read. That
Yeah,
10% of the funds for
for
schools and
California.
states are. I don't. It didn't. It just said 10%. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's 10% per state or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know.
so what he's
I would have to
doing,
look.
it's like, oh, we'll just give it to the states. We'll give it to the states, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these corporations can cut their federal taxes, and me and you are going to have to pick it up
Mm-hmm.
in the state tax for certain things.
Mm-hmm. And so while we're paying all these extra taxes, we have less discretionary money to pay for things from these corporations. So
Yeah.
there's there is that.
What do you
Anyway.
mean?
Well, you have less money. You're paying more
Less
taxes. You
money
have
to
less money
spend.
to spend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily.
Well, then we'll just have less stuff. I don't want to have less stuff.
Okay, luxuries. We need our luxuries.
Yeah, we
Okay.
need our luxuries.
The White House said earlier Thursday the department will continue to manage federal student loans, but the order appears to say the opposite. It says the Education Department doesn't have the staff to oversee its $1.6 trillion loan portfolio and must return bank functions to an entity equipped to serve America's students. So maybe that is the core of it. So that would go back to that would go to the banks, right?
Mm-hmm.
The banks would manage that. Which, oh gosh. So the banks would buy the loans from the government, I guess. And then interest rates can do whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be just a big mess. Okay,
Yeah.
I think that's yeah. All right. Well,
All right.
we'll see how that works out. I don't
Okay.
know. It's-
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it works.
All right.
We'll see.
Okay, on to topic number 3. Musk's visit to the Pentagon.
Oh, Musk visit to the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Again, there's more. There's just more confusion.
More confusing.
It's initially, like I said, that it was reported that he was going to be briefed on China
Mm-hmm.
and war plans for China.
Yeah, that's where it gets really out of hand. If you think about it, right? The guy kicks it. He kicks it with Putin. He's going around the world selling his Starlink to everybody,
Mm-hmm.
or leasing it, or doing whatever he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He's selling Tesla is his biggest custom. China is his Tesla's biggest customer.
Is
He
it?
ships more cars to China than anywhere else.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Someone did his homework.
Yes, and he's could and he's a vendor for the Pentagon,
Correct. Yes,
but
he
he's
has.
there to discuss what a war with China would look like. That's like that was thrown in there just to get you to start thinking about some shit. Are we really that? Is the Pentagon that crazy that they're just going to bring this guy in and discuss war plans? And why does Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency, what do they have to do with the military?
Yeah, because you would think it would be that, what's his name? Heisberg guy?
Yeah, well, he's
Whatever
the
his
one
name
bringing
is.
them in. Hegstead?
Hegseth.
Well, he's the one bringing them in, but the military, they don't ever talk about cutting the military budget,
No.
right? If they want to build some aircraft carriers, they build them,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know?
But I did read that Musk has, I don't know, offered his opinion on things that they've been purchasing,
Mm-hmm.
specific planes and things, and telling them to halt the purchases of these planes.
Because I
and
could
some of
get
these
them at a
big
better,
ticket
I
things.
could build them at a better deal for you.
Yeah, probably. Look, it's all unethical. It's
Yeah,
just all
it's all
unethical,
unethical.
and they're selling Musk to their cult followers as a savior of America.
Oh my God, I'm getting so tired of hearing this.
They're all saying this now.
Is the guy, what did he say? He said, "Oh, I don't see any problem with it. Musk is an American citizen. He's a patriot, and he's saving America."
Saving America.
We have a personal. I don't know if we could talk about what's going on with one of Musk's businesses and our child.
Oh, well, we can in general.
Yeah.
One of our children purchased a Tesla
Uh-huh.
and ran up on a curb. He was tired one night
Mm-hmm.
and ran on a curb and
Totaled it.
totaled it.
Never
Primarily
happened
because the
to,
battery
never happened to a Chevy.
on a curb. And yeah, and it was just yeah.
Hit a curb, totaled it.
Yeah. And that was what, 2
Several
months?
months, 3 months.
2 months ago. No,
Was
it's
it
been like
2?
60 days, a little over 60
okay.
days now. And he got the insurance that Tesla
Mhm.
offers. And he cannot get through
Yeah.
to a claims adjuster when he calls.
They ghosted him.
The inbox is too full for him to even leave a message.
Yeah.
Apparently, they just don't have enough people to deal with all of the claims that they have, and so he's been without a vehicle.
But the clincher is he already went through. He filed the claim,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And he had all the paperwork
Did everything.
and everything, and the car has already been assessed and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last email was.
Send
Send in your paperwork and let us know
Yeah.
so we can have the car assessed and all this stuff and fill
Right.
out the attached document. And there was no
There was
document
no
attached.
attachment or anything.
So
So
that's the way he
that's
runs a
how-
business.
That's how efficient the
Yeah.
leader of government efficiency.
That's how
is.
that's how efficient his business is, or that's how much his businesses care about their customers.
Right.
And how much the government of efficiency cares about the American people.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is now America is somehow a business, and you hear it from the MAGA supporters that America would be bankrupt right now if it was a bit. It's not a business.
It's not a business. It's not.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be a business. That's why we pay taxes. We don't pay taxes to a business.
Right. It's all about us getting the infrastructure and things that we need as a society, paying for those things collectively.
Yes.
That's just what it is. And all the other extra stuff you want, that's where the corporations come in and all of that. So
Yeah.
anywho, yeah. So
And so what did we get out of what we learned about Musk and his visit today?
well, it's happening tomorrow. His visit to the Pentagon. It was scheduled on Friday to brief Elon Musk. This is the New York Times on the U.S. military's plan for any war that might break out with China. This was from two U.S. officials that said this said this today. But it says hours after news of the planned meeting was published by the New York Times, Pentagon officials and President Trump denied that the session would be about military plans involving China.
Yeah, that would be really stupid to make something like that public. And China's over there saying, "Oh, what? They making plans to go to war with me? What?"
Well, they've already been.
Oh, I know, but y'all talk. What y'all talking? You keep your. What you talking about? Oh, we talking about you gonna do something with me?
Yeah. Well, with the tariffs, right? The Chinese leader said, "We'll go to war with you over tariffs or whatever kind of war you want.
They don't care."
So,
but the thing is, but here's the next. Here's my opinion on the next country that will be offered up is Taiwan. Because they did say something about Musk's view on Taiwan, and it's pretty much the same thing that your boy was trying to do with Ukraine, offer them up.
the way you just said this just drives me nuts because nobody voted for Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Nobody. He's walking around here.
But he's
like
not walking around here, but they're asking him.
Voted
they're asking him shit, and they're repeating shit that he says like it should make a goddamn difference. It shouldn't.
It should not. It should not.
Yeah, I mean, you can have your conversations, keep that stuff indoors, and don't be telling everybody about it.
And
it would be much better.
And the activation of their base to repeat the same mantra.
Yes.
He's saving America.
Yes.
Elon Musk is saving America. Elon Musk is saving America.
That's what they say. They're like zombies.
That's some serious brainwashing.
Yeah.
It really is.
It is. It's that good old Russian indoctrination on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that misinformation really did number on our country and our people.
Mm-hmm. Well, now it's saying that it's not even clear if the briefing for Mr. Musk would go ahead as originally planned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're trying to knock that down.
So, nothing ever gets out to the media unless someone wants it to get out to the media.
They wanted to cause
some
they want to do this every day. They want to
stay in the news cycle for something.
Yes. Yeah. They got to keep this news cycle going.
Yeah, he has to hear his name like 1,000 times in the news.
Yep.
If not, it's just not a good day.
Yeah. So with that said, we need to stop talking about it, and we'll start talking about it tomorrow. Whatever else comes.
Yeah, we'll see what Friday brings.
Oh, Friday's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see.
We shall see.
If not, then we'll just talk about what's coming on tomorrow.
Oh, we've got. Oh, wait, our show, Ready to Love, is on a break now, which
Oh,
is
they did
absolutely
too.
ridiculous
Man, they
for the
tripping.
summer. I'm like, what are
Trying to
y'all
piece
talking
out Ready to
about?
Love. Yeah.
I know.
Y'all,
Right, but we could
man.
catch up. We could recap what's been going on over there, and then there is Family or Fiance.
Family and Fiance, those get pretty good sometimes.
Yeah,
So,
those
yeah,
the
we'll
first
check that out.
three the first three episodes were crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
So we'll get into more fun stuff, but we did have to pop in and do a little political thing because there's been a lot going on, and
yeah.
you
Yes,
know
ma'am.
we want to just get our 2 cents out there. Anyway, make sure you like and subscribe to Honey WTF podcast,
Please do.
and drop us a line. Let us know what you think about all this stuff that's going on.
Yeah. Get
You
in our
know,
comments.
get in our comments.
And
We do like to go back and forth.
yeah, go back and forth. I mean, if you're a Trump supporter and you want to cuss me out and call me stupid, go ahead. I'm cool with that. Let's do it. But keep in mind, I do got a delete button on my side. So,
Yeah.
but let's go.
Let's go. All right.
All right, y'all.
See y'all later.
Have a good one.